Okay. Again, let me welcome you to the ABC House Committee on ABC, the Alcohol Beverage Control. You see on the agenda we have one bill, but at the same time you see you have a lot of paperwork. So hopefully we can get through this and in a reasonable amount of time, and we can go about our business. First of all, let me, of course, welcome you here, and also to recognize our Sergeant at Arms who are present, and those are, where's my number here? I'm sure. Okay, John Gilbert. Okay, John. Marvin Lee. Teresa Ferguson, and Bill Riley. Okay. Okay. Everyone has a copy of the agenda, and at this time, hopefully everyone has gotten all the amendments that were passed out. And the committee members, anybody who did not get those amendments, I'm going to assume that everybody has copies of them.
Mr. Chair, how many amendments are supposed to be out?
I think we had four. We got four. Everybody should have four.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I'd like me to read the drafting code so people can confirm which one.
Okay, why don't you do that? So
Mr. Chairman. Sorry to interrupt. I only have 3 amendments. I'm not sure about the other members of the committee.
Okay, he's going to read out the drafting code so you'll know, and we can make sure you get what you need.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. The drafting codes on the amendments that you should have are S527 ASA 58 V1, S527 ATQ 48 V6, S527 ATQ 61 V3, and S527 ATQ 62 V1.
Okay. Try to make sure every committee members get a copy of each one of those. Everyone has a copy of the amendments? Okay, we at this time we also have a PCS before the body. Without objection, we'll consider that. All right. And the PCS is going to be, I guess we can talk about that first, or we want to do the.
It's already before the committee from last meeting.
Okay, I've been told that the PCS is before the body from the last meeting. Those that might remember, we had a meeting back in June, I believe it was. So that PC is before us. At this time, do we want to consider the PCS right now, or look at the amendments? Which one? Senator Moffitt? Okay. Would you like to do the amendments first, or you want to?
I can speak to the PCS, then we can take up the amendments.
Okay. Okay, we'll have Senator Moffitt to go through the PCS, and then we'll deal with the amendments.
Thank you, Chairman Willingham. Members of the committee, so the PCS you have in front of you has only gotten better since June. It's aged a couple of months. It has not changed. We do have some amendments that are going to be offered, and I can explain those amendments as they are presented. Mr. Chair.
Okay, since we, at the last meeting, we went through the PCS and explained it, it's a fairly long bill, but what we're going to do is go ahead and start on the amendments, and Senator Moffitt can explain the amendments as we go along and how it affects the PCS. You have any preference of the piece? Okay. Mills? All right. Some grays here. Okay, the first amendment is S527-ASA-58, version 1. Who's going to be running that?
Mr. Chair, I'll run that amendment.
Okay.
Members, this amendment is a simple amendment. It just treats our community colleges like our four-year institutions, like our four-year colleges, by allowing the sale of beer and wine at community college sporting events. I ask that you please support the amendment. I don't know if the Senator wants to add to that or not.
Any questions, comments on the amendment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Amendment adopted. Okay. Amendment 2 here is S527-ATQ-48, version 6. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative Winslow, for sending forth the amendment. The first, really 3 parts of the amendment are just changing the headers to certain sections. We get into some substantive things at the very bottom where you look at the common area entertainment permit clarification. As with most things in the world of ABC law, interpretation is always the problem that happens between us and downstream. In our common area entertainment permits, there was the word "or" between inside and "or" outside, and because of that, the ABC Commission was requiring patrons to dump out their drinks if they were inside before they went outside in the same common area entertainment, or vice versa. So what this does is it resolves that particular issue. Lastly, the ABC Commission provides seller and server training programs, but we have a lot of ABC permittees because of brand considerations. They have their own training programs, but they found the 30-day implementation to be too tight in order to get their programs up to speed with the changing laws, so they've asked for some flexibility there. So we've expanded that to 90 days. And that pretty much explains that amendment. Be glad to answer any questions.
Questions or comments on the amendment? Seeing none. All those in favor, vote aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Amendment passes. Next amendment. This is Amendment 3. Number is S527-ATQ-61, version 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Representative Winslow, for sending forth the amendment. I'd like to really thank ALE for working with us painstakingly through this particular part of the Omnibus bill itself. Essentially, this language provides each of the agencies flexibility to achieve what our goal is here, which is appropriate and quick notification of the ABC permittee when one of the folks in their employment has actually violated the law and received a citation. In my painstaking explanation of the bill back in June, I reminded everyone that as a father of sons, a lot of times I wouldn't find out about their speeding tickets unless I got the letters in the mail from the attorneys addressed to them seeking to help them solve their problems. Because they're on my insurance policy, that directly affected me. Well, the same thing happens in the world of ABC. If someone is cited for violating the law, typically the ABC permittee is not notified in a reasonable amount of time to where they can take action, and it has taken up to 6 months before they know a violation has actually occurred. So what this provision does is make sure that they know within 5 days that a violation has occurred and could imperil their ABC permit. I can answer any questions, would appreciate your support for the amendment.
Questions, comments on the amendment? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Amendment passes. Amendment 4 here is S527-ATQ-62, version 1.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, thank you, Representative Winslow, for sending forth the amendment. In the Omnibus bill, I believe it's section 18 is regarding the mobile bar services permit. And within the original bill, we specifically stated that the mobile bar services permittee must buy their product from the beer and wine wholesalers. And reviewing that section with the beer and wine wholesalers, they felt that the best practical way for these businesses to operate with a little more freedom is to allow them to buy their beer and wine wherever they want to, whether it's from a wholesaler or a retailer. And what this amendment does is it provides them that flexibility. I would answer any of your questions, would appreciate your support on Representative Winslow's amendment.
Questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Amendment passes. Okay, that's all the amendments I have here. Are there any other amendments from the committee that we're not aware of? Okay. I think we will go ahead and we'll have a discussion about the bill. Anything that we want to go ahead and discuss the bill as it is, as amended? Representative Hodgson.
I'm happy to make a motion at the appropriate time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Representative Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask Senator Moffitt a discussion with him, if I may. Senator Moffitt, I know you worked really, really hard on this bill along, on your Senate side and along with the colleagues on our side. I know it's like a Christmas tree. It's a lot of things in here. And dealing with the North Carolina distilleries, it's still a big issue that's out there that I would hope that you and as you push this along the path, I would hope some transparency, not saying you haven't been, but it's some other members that have some major concerns about our distillery industry in North Carolina. They employ a lot of people. A lot of people have major investments. They're having major problems getting their product to Raleigh, to the warehouse in Clayton, to get into the system to get their product out there. And they're in like 45 counties, I think. And they employ a lot of people and renovate a lot of historical buildings. And I think it's like 104 across the state. So as we walk this dog, I would hope you would continue to be open-minded since you're running the bill. And I know it's on the House side, and this is a House committee. I would just hope our leadership here, it was in one committee, and I was involved in that committee. It's a conference report, and this conference report is still being worked on. And it was in that conference report, and they were asked to move here, and I agreed to that because this way it should be. But I would hope the leadership on the House side, this walking this dog, will be transparent with the North Carolina distilleries, because we want them, we need them, and we don't need to shut them down, but we need to have some type of transparency of cooperation to try to keep them in business. So, not criticizing you. I appreciate your hard work because you're a friend of mine and you do work hard. But I had an amendment today that was ready to be run, and I spoke with one of my other colleagues in the room, and it was told it would not be heard. So, but just thank you for the transparency, and I just want to make that public and make it aware that I appreciate as the process goes. Continue to look at North Carolina distilleries, but their issues they have of getting their product into the liquor stores and to the warehouses.
Thank you, Representative Ray. So essentially what you're referring to is direct distribution between our North Carolina craft distillers and the mixed beverage permittees. It's a lot more complicated than that. There's a lot more downside issues than would meet the eye, but it is something that we are considering. The language that has been pushed around both the House and the Senate, as well as alternative language. So as someone who has personally supported the North Carolina craft distillers and always been thoughtful of their needs through this modernization of our ABC system, they are in the forefront of my mind, and I'll continue looking at that issue and also looking for solutions that actually protect the integrity of the system, but also allows them the flexibility to survive and prosper. So thank you for your comments.
Follow up?
Follow up.
Thank you, Senator Moffitt.
Any other? Representative Pickett.
Thank you, Representative Ray, for bringing that up. It's a very important subject. There's a lot of these distilleries that if they can't get in the warehouse, they could not survive. And these are North Carolina businesses that we're supposed to be here to protect at all times. They're our businesses, and we need to protect them. And we need to help them out where we can. And I don't think this is near as complicated as it's being made out to be.
Any other comments or questions? Any other discussion on the bill? I think before we go to the vote, we did have some people to sign up to speak. So I'm going to allow 2 minutes. And I have 4 names here. As I call your name, you come to the mic and, of course, tell who you are and who you represent. And abide by the 2-minute rule. Reverend Mark Creech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I doubt that much that I'm going to say today is going to change the result of the vote, but I feel that I have a duty to say it, and I hope that my tone is taken as one of grace and the utmost concern. When restrictions on alcohol policy are lifted, there can be several negative consequences, including dangerous alcohol consumption rates, both in terms of overall volume and binge drinking, various serious health issues that involve the liver, the heart, addiction and mental disorders, public safety concerns, drunk driving, accidents, violence, and social disturbances can arise. The Christian Action League opposes this legislation. We have sent an analysis of this bill to your email expressing our concerns. We are particularly concerned about the provision that will allow ABC stores to open on Sundays and holidays. No Sunday sales at ABC stores help to promote family time, improved health, less alcohol-related crime and drunk driving fatalities on Sundays, religious observance, and responsible consumption. Several studies show the health benefits of taking a break from drinking just 1 day a week, and these advantages are subject to be diminished or lost if this bill succeeds. We have additional concerns about raising the cap on alcohol advertising materials, potential risk of curbside cocktails, the potential negative impact of thresholds for alcohol referendums being lowered so low that alcohol sales in those smaller communities pose an issue for law enforcement. The sale of two mixed beverages at events like trade shows, conventions, agriculture festivals, farmers markets, and local fundraisers, which usually entail family-oriented activities, selling branded consumer items at ABC stores, which are supposed to remain neutral and not promote liquor sales. These are all great concerns in this bill. They are a paradigm shift in how.
Thank you, sir. Andy Ella. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Willingham. I'm Andy Ellen, President and General Counsel of the North Carolina Retail Merchants Association, and want to say thank you very much for having us today. It's been a long time since June 27th when the last time we heard this. I want to thank Senator Moffitt and the Chairman, Chairman Mills, and Chairman Bradford and Chairman Willingham for their work on this, as well as a number of others. This to us, as the Retail Merchants Association, is a regulatory reform bill. We are, as you know, very much a growing state, and with that growing state comes more businesses and more business permits. But part of the thing we saw during COVID, not only did the business suffer, but sometimes the ability to get an alcohol permit when you were applying dutifully was really delayed. The ability when you sell a business, you're not allowed to transfer that permit, and what happened in between when you transition that permit, how you were able to operate really was very detrimental to a number of businesses. We had businesses that were on temporary permits for over 2 years, which means they have no rights if that business's permits seek to be revoked by the commission. And all of these issues are fixed in here, along with the issue that Senator Moffitt mentioned about getting notice to the permit holder that they have had a violation. But I think one of the things that have happened also during COVID was the ABC Commission, who has done a great job issuing permits in the past, saw a lot of people retire. They saw a lot of people work from home. And whereas you used to could go into the ABC Commission with all your paperwork and background check and walk out with a temporary permit, now it's very difficult to get one. And they only take 6 appointments a day as an example. So it was very hard and lengthy to get a permit, which made it hard when you were hiring people to try to put them to work when you were waiting 30 and 45 days to get your permit. And there's a lot of things in this bill dealing with the permit structure that will make it much easier for businesses to operate in North Carolina. And we thank you and urge your support.
Jason Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Jason Smith, and my wife and I own 2 restaurants, Cantina 18 and Harvest 18. I also serve on the North Carolina Restaurant and Lodging Association Board as the treasurer and co-chair of the Government Affairs Committee. But today I'm here speaking to you as a small business owner and on behalf of the permittee holders of the state of North Carolina. There are several things in this bill that will make it easier for small business owners like myself to be functional and to stay in business. The cocktails to go, we were able to temporarily do that a few years ago with safe closed seal containers. It was a major uptick for many restaurateurs. To-go sales have dwindled, and it's a great way to push to-go sales up. We do already offer cocktails to go at ABC stores, so it's pretty much the exact same thing. The second thing is right now under the current system, if we have a beverage drink that is one of our signature drinks and it has a specific liquor on it, and when we are going to go pick up our liquor order from the designated warehouse and they are out there, there's no way for us to get that liquor, where it may be at an ABC store that we've literally passed on the way to get our liquor. This would make it so that inside of our county, we would be able to get a bottle that the warehouse didn't have from one of the ABC stores, making it more functional for us to have a list that we're not, that we're not able to get things when the warehouse has it. I wanted to thank you guys for your time, and appreciate y'all's help in helping small businesses be successful in the state of North Carolina.
Thank you. Before we vote, any comments or observations by committee members, or did you have any questions of any of the speakers?
Mr. Chairman, I've been to Cantina 18. It's an excellent establishment.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. I think it's time, Representative Hodgson.
Mr. Chairman, it's been a little while since I made a motion. I may be a little rusty, but hopefully I'll get it right. I move for a favorable report to Senate Bill 527 as amended, rolled into a new PCS unfavorable to the original.
Okay, and I'm going to add to that.
Referral to rules, calendar, and operations of the House.
Okay, well, that's fine. But
Okay.
in addition to that, we want to do also add to that we want to give the staff permission to make technical and conforming changes if need be. In addition to that, okay?
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, all right. Okay, you've heard the motion. Those in favor?
Just a question, is that to go to finance or to?
It's been added going to finance and then rules. Okay. All right. Those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Bill passes and is referred to finance. No more business. The meeting is adjourned.